Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about this AMD. So this is day 11 of the 7800 XT. And today I got to thinking, man, I've made some pretty bold claims about my AMD experience, and I get a lot of pushback on that. I get a lot of pushback from people on the Nvidia side saying that I'm not being fair because I'm not comparing it to a 40 series card. So I've made the decision to go ahead and pick up a 4070. I'm picking up a 4070 because I'm going to compare that to the 7800 XT, and seeing as the 4070 is $100 more than the 7800 XT, I don't want to hear anybody crying that I'm not being fair, because that's $100 more than the 7800 XT. So I'm going to buy that card and I'm going to compare it. I asked somebody in the community today if I should do the 4070 Ti or the 4060 Ti 16 gigabyte. They said I should go right in the middle and get the 4070. This is a very trusted person in the community. I love them. They've been here. They've supported this channel almost since the very beginning. So yes, when he says something, I definitely, take it seriously. And so that's what we're going to do. I'm going to buy the 4070. I'm going to pay $600. I'm not going to buy it and take it back to Best Buy after I played around with it for a couple weeks. No, we're going to keep it. And we're going to go through the whole next year. This is the plan for 2024's content creation when it comes to PC. I'm going to compare the 4070 to the 7800 XT. That's gonna suck because I might not be putting my 7900 XT back in for a while. But I'm just gonna use the same build that I have right now. I'm just gonna use the 5800X. I'm still gonna use the AM4 platform, and I want to compare them both. I want to see if I'm really missing out on anything. So we're gonna test the longevity of these two cards. I'm going to run all the new games on it. I'm going to do a bunch of benchmarks. I'm going to go through over the next couple of days, and I'm going to start, doing a whole bunch of benchmarks for every single game that I've got. As soon as Avatar comes out, that'll be that'll be one. I just feel strongly enough about the AMD platform and the AMD GPUs that I think that this will not only help the channel grow a little bit, but also help me grow as a content creator, to be able to, to be accurate, to be fair, and to be consistent with my messaging and with my overall experience on both of these cards. And we're going to look at things like user experience, because that is one of the biggest things that have absolutely blown me away on the AMD platform, is just how much more user-friendly that experience is over what it was with the Nvidia. And now that I've got, enough good time behind me on the AMD platform to really see how things work and to really know exactly what I like in the PC space, that's going to help me in turn potentially get a better experience out of the Nvidia side, so that I can be fair, so that I can be honest, and so that I can bring you guys the right information. I don't think that I'm gonna do like a whole 30 days only using the 4070. I think that I will be swapping them out. Like I'll do like a full week with the 4070, then I'll go back to the 47 or the 7800 XT, then I'll go back to my 7900, and maybe just do like a rotating week of content. Like, I haven't really decided exactly how I'm gonna do this. I just know that in order for this channel to grow, and in order for people to take this content more seriously, I kind of feel like I have to do this. I kind of feel like my hand's being forced. And oh man, to be honest with you guys, the more I dig into this PC rabbit hole, the more that the things that I really love, like actual playing games, is starting to kind of take a back seat to things. Well, at least I know that it's probably going to when I switch over. But here's my reasoning, man. If the Nvidia cards can deliver a good experience, like, I just don't think that price range, $600 for that card, is actually a good price for that. And I want to see this. I want to test this out. I get a lot of pushback from the Nvidia bros telling me that the AMD's trash and that I should just get Nvidia. Well, this is pretty much that price range that I think a lot of people in the gaming space are going to fall under. So yes, I think it will benefit the people that watch the content, and I think it will benefit, me overall in how I absolutely perceive the PC space. Because man, I came into this thing like a dump truck. I mean, seriously, I came in and I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna have max settings and this and blah blah blah. And so no, obviously you can't come in here with that kind of a thing. But I'm not gonna like feed completely into the whole narrative, because I mean, like we talk about what power draw when it comes to these cards, and I guarantee that some computer nerd found a way to use power draw just to try to justify their purchase. Like, I think it's crazy. We're going to talk about user experience. We're not going to worry about things like power draw. If that's something that you deal with in your country, okay, man, there are other content creators that are more than willing to create that for you. I am 100% focused on the user experience for these GPUs. And I'm going to stick with the mid-range because, yes, while the newer card, like the 7900, 7900 XTX, 4080, 4090, the people that have got money to buy those cards, they're not going to be watching this channel much anyways for that information. So I do feel like this would be a good thing, but I want some of your guys' feedback. I want to know, do you guys think this is a good idea? Should I just ignore the Nvidia bros and just move on, or should I try to find a more should I try to find like a more like down the middle path, and look at both cards from their strengths, from their weaknesses? How should I go about this? Like, give me some of your guys' feedback. Let me know in the comments section what you would want to see, if you think this is a good idea. If you think that, I mean, one of the things I absolutely want to see is if that Nvidia card is going to pay itself off like both of my AMD cards have. That's something that I'm really curious to see that happens. But here's the deal that I made with my wife, because I have already invested almost $40,000 in this channel in the last 3 years. So I'm going to buy this card this year. I'm going to start working on that. That's going to be the content all next year. The only thing I'm buying next year is just the software, just the video games. I'm not buying any more big purchases. I'm not doing any more stuff like that. So the only thing that I will be using for that purchase, for the game purchases, is my regular paycheck, what I make. All of the YouTube money is going to start going to our it's going to start going to our savings, so that we can get serious about buying a house. Like here where we live, like rents, everything is just going through the roof. So we want to start putting that money aside. Barely, like, I mean, it would be, enough to like start putting aside some money for a down payment or whatever. So that's the deal I made with her. All the YouTube money's going straight to that fund, every single nickel of it. I'm not taking anything for the channel. I'm not investing anything else in the channel. We both agree that we have spent enough on this channel to, for now, like we have. I mean, I guess if something, like comes up that we need to that we need to do or something like that. I mean, maybe we can like do something, but until all of my credit cards are paid off, all of her credit cards are paid off, we're putting the rest of that money towards that. And I mean, this does suck, but I know that I've made some pretty bold claims about the AMD platform, and I could just 100%, forget about all of it and just continue to cover AMD like it's the best thing out there. But let's be real, man. I look at my channel and the growth that I have on my channel, and I look at other channels and I see people making almost the same type of content that I make, and their channels are doing really well, and mine isn't. There's something wrong there. There's something amiss in how I'm doing things. And I mean, I guess it doesn't necessarily really matter, but it kind of does. Like, I do want this channel to be self-sufficient. I want this channel to be able to be a source of income, so that I don't have to work, as hard, or so my wife doesn't have to work as hard, so that we can get ahead and start doing things that we want to do. Because I put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this channel, and it really is like a second job. Like, there's a lot of work. I put together a video just the other day, and it was just a passion project of mine for a set of Corsa, and it barely got any views. And that took me almost like half a day to sit there and go through every single bit of footage I had to try to map all of the view, the FOV changes to the gears and everything. And man, I made that video like 6 times, and I kept messing up because I wasn't getting like something right or something. And then finally I figured out a way to make it look at least good enough to try to show my point. And it's things like that that when you spend a lot of time on them, and you work really hard on stuff, and then it doesn't pay off in the end, and then you're like, gosh dang, I got to resort to this or I got to resort to that to try to bring in the clicks. And I mean, the way me and my wife are looking at it right now is the best months that we've had are when we've bought graphics cards and reviewed those and made content for those. So I'm just kind of hoping that, this way for the future of this channel, because up till now, it really wasn't about making income from the YouTube channel. Like it wasn't. Like it was cool, it was awesome, and it was all right. But now we're to a point where I want this channel to make money so that we can realize our dreams and put ourselves in a better position to be able to do that. I do feel like the work that I do on YouTube is valuable enough to make some income from it, but I need to figure out how to tap into that potential. And I'm not sitting here like talking about begging for donations and e-begging and stuff like that. No, I'm talking about making content that people view, that I get ad revenue for, that companies will send me products or sponsor the channel for something. I promise you guys, I will only do sponsorships that make sense for this channel, if and ever those ever do come about, or they ever do happen. I will always, I'm trying to find my own little niche in how I'm going to cover PC content. Like, I get that every other content creator out there does it pretty much the same way. It's all pretty much the same thing, and they're all in unison all the time. So I'm trying to do something a little bit fresh. I'm trying to do something a little bit different. Yes, I do listen to your guys' suggestions. I really do. Like, I listen to your suggestions. I read even your meme content, because that lets me know that yes, there are people out there that are thinking a certain way. So how do I create content that's going to be good for everybody, and not really necessarily kick the hornet's nest every single time, but like, I'm going to talk about the issues and problems that I have with the stuff that I buy, because I'm consumer level just like you. I'm consumer level just like you guys. And that's the way I look at myself. I see marketing, I see a product, and I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds good. So then I go and buy it. But yes, next year I have to be very, very, very frugal with what I'm spending on this channel. And I did choose the mid-range segment, because I do feel like that is where most of the PC gamers are going to be. Yes, it is still a little bit upper mid-tier, whatever, but yeah, that's where we're going. I've put in requests to like AMD and Nvidia for other GPUs, and I mean, if they decide to send them, then I'll be able to cover, like the 7700 XT or the 7600, or maybe like, some of the, I don't think Nvidia is ever going to send this channel graphics cards. So at this point, like, I don't know. I personally, from my experience from before and now, I really love the AMD experience. I do not see the Nvidia thing changing that, especially because the 4070 is just not as powerful as the 7800 XT, but it's definitely priced above the 7800 XT. So I do feel like that is a fair comparison to show you what you actually get for the money that you spend. So if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Like I said, hit me up with those comments and let me know how you feel about this.